So this is the hand riveter kit that I picked up made by Astro. I've owned this for approximately 3 years now. I originally picked this up because I had taken on a side job that required me to mount some lights to a roll bar on a tractor, and I didn't have a way of securing a bolt and nut from the back side. So I felt like this was a good option. So this is model number 1442. It has a 13-inch handle, and this is how it will come. It comes in a very nice carrying case. So this kit will come with your actual hand riveting gun, a wrench so that you can change your mandrels out, and it will come with 3 metric sizes, which are M5, M6, and M8, as well as 10 by 24, quarter by 20, and 5/16 by 18. I opted to go ahead and pick up a 3/8 by 16 mandrel as well. I wanted to be able to do the bigger size, so these are also available. So what's nice is they've got these little storage containers for the mandrels to store in. You'll have your actual mandrel that your rivet thread onto, and then you've got a nut to secure that in place on your tool. Now what's nice on these instructions is it not only gives you a parts list and tells you exactly how to operate this tool, but if you look on the front page, it'll show you what size drill bit you'll need to drill the hole for each size mandrel. All you really need to do though is drill a hole that's just slightly oversized for your rivet. This here is a 3/8 size rivet that I was talking about. That's the biggest that I've got. Astro does carry another tool that has a larger capacity that will go up to 1/2 inch. I do believe this tool will only go up to 3/8 if I remember right. So to change this mandrel, what you'll need to do is thread off this top piece here, and then you'll slide the sleeve down on the inside, unthread your piece there, and then you can change sizes or whatnot. I'm going to show you an example of how to do a 1/4 by 20 rivet and a piece of steel that I've already got. So I'll go ahead and throw that back in. This does not have to be torqued all the way down, just threaded down most of the way. And then that little collar will slide back up over and secure it in place. And then you can take your collar back on and thread it back on here. Grab your wrench and just slightly snug that down. So now you're ready to set a rivet. So here's a 1/4 by 20 rivet nut. What you need to do to adjust this, you want this handle to be able to go out most of the way. You loosen this collar here and then slide this out. This handle will drop down a little further. You want that most of the way open, then you can lock that back down. Take your rivet nut and thread that all the way down on the tool. Now that you've got that all the way in, you'll run it down on your steel. At this point, you just stick your rivet down into your piece of steel. Once you get that fully seated on your steel, you can close your handles up together. And as you can see, that rivet nut will cinch down on your steel and sandwich itself between. At this point in time, you can unthread your tool. And once your tool is completely unthreaded, now you're left with a rivet nut stuck just above flush, above your steel. And you can see how that sandwiches it down on there. And then from there, you can actually take your bolt and thread that down in there. So I've used this tool several times now, mostly putting lights on the top of roll bars for tractors for guys around the area that have asked me to do so. So if you had a situation where you need to make a repair and secure a headlight back down, you could set one of these rivet nuts in place and you could use that to thread down. There's many applications that these rivet nuts could actually be used for. Main purpose that I found for these is where you can't get a nut to the backside of a bolt, then you can use these rivet nuts to still be able to install what it is you need to do. One word of caution that I've got on this kit, when I first got this and was learning how to use it, this 10 by 24 is extremely small. First time I used this 10 by 24, I put too much pressure on and I actually snapped the threads off of this piece. I had to buy a replacement for my kit. So just a word of caution. What I would do is I'd practice a couple times. I'd start with a little bit larger rivet nut and get the hang of the tool first before you go cranking on the 10 by 24. The M5 is just as small. I just never broke this one. Okay, so be careful with these when you're learning how to use them. You'll learn how much pressure to put on it. If you do end up actually snapping one, you can get replacements for these as well. But other than that, that's the only downside I've got to this tool. Is on the small ones, you got to use a little bit more finesse. But on the big ones, I've cranked on those pretty hard. They do a pretty good job. I've not had a rivet nut, to my knowledge, spin out on me. Yes, it could happen. But the nice thing about these rivet nuts is they do have a knurl all the way around the edge. So when you set these in place and sandwich them down, those little knurls will bite into your piece and give you a pretty secure connection. So if you've got a project coming up and you think this might be a handy tool to get you through your project, check out the Astro riveting gun kit. It's been a great addition to my shop.